What will be the consequences of the large-scale destruction of infrastructure in Gaza? Gaza Strip is being destroyed. If you look at satellite pictures and on-the-ground video sources, buildings are leveled city-wide and are no longer habitable. Hospitals, markets, schools, apartment buildings have been leveled to rubble. The scale of damage and loss of life is now beyond a major hurricane and closer to that of an earthquake. People living within Gaza now require economic assistance and are no longer able to support themselves on the account of Gaza being a war zone. What holds for the future of the people living within borders of Gaza? Increased radicalization, extensive civilian casualties, and economic collapse which will only continue the cycle of violence. For there to be anything resembling peace or stability in Gaza and Israel, there will need to be a massive international reconstruction effort. My hope is that Hamas will be functionally defeated, and that a coalition of moderate Arab states will step up to administer basic services as well as the rebuilding efforts until such time as Palestinian elections can take place. Israel will hopefully heavily fund the rebuilding efforts, but should not by any means reoccupy Gaza, as that will create an extremely volatile situation. A human-made human catastrophe. I've seen so many new things I can't unsee. Please stop punishing the wrong people. After the Korea War, South Korea built itself into a world-class country. I'm sure that Palestine 2.0 will be the new Dubai after Saudi Arabia and other neighboring countries step up financially. The consequence will be that Israeli settlers won't be able to simply move into already constructed homes stolen from Palestinians and will have to build their new settlements from scratch. As for the people living within Gaza, I don't think their future factors into Israel's plan for Gaza, so I would expect their future looks like a mass grave. There's certainly no plan to let them leave, which means they will eventually all die to bombing, to the ground assault, or to starvation when supplies run out completely. Once the surviving Palestinians are pushed into the Sinai Desert to wander much like the Jews did, what was once Gaza will provide opportunity for expansion beyond the West Bank settlers' wildest dreams. Israel will attempt to occupy the Gaza Strip and will probably slowly pressure the Palestinians living there to leave. Europe better look forward to its next refugee crisis. Berlin was a shell and Hiroshima, Nagasaki were gone after World War II and they were built back. I see no reason why Gaza and any other places in Palestine can't be built back. I know Israel said they want to leave a military presence in Gaza when this is over, but I'll be curious as to what the UN and the rest of the world has to say about that. It's my hope that something better can come out of this war other than death and destruction. Considering the billions poured into Gaza by Iran, Qatar and Turkey to fund tunnel building and rocket manufacturing, if that money had been and is in the future used for peaceful purposes, it would greatly help rebuilding. You only have to look at the expansionism and land grabbing that is built into Israel's history. Clearly, Gaza is being destroyed on purpose so that Israel can occupy Gaza and rebuild it as a luxury seafront development with 70 kilometers of Mediterranean coastline. 10 years from now it will look like Dubai. The Palestinians will all be gone and nobody cares where to. That is clearly what is being planned, and the plots of land have probably already been mapped out for sale. It's an obvious final solution. Total destruction. Total genocide. It's obvious they are leveling it. And I hope someone leaks the development plans Israel inevitably already has ready and waiting. Contracts signed. You name it. Not much IMHO. Israel is going to genocide Gaza, then rebuild and settle it with their own people is how I see this going. There won't be any Gazans left to deal with the destroyed infrastructure. just Israel rebuilding how they like. Death. Destruction in Gaza and Israel. Maybe the whole region. Maybe some clown will act impulsively and solve the problem permanently, not in a good way. Israel will have to take control of the area to ensure the safety and security of the people in the region. Well, for one thing, another massive influx of refugees making their way to Europe. None of the Arab countries are willing to take them, as it means offering financial support to a large extent. This is why they are so vocal against Israel, but also against Europe for being indecisive and partially supporting Israel while not offering Palestinians full support by allowing blanket immigration into Europe. I just wanted to thank everybody for such a great discussion. I have learned a lot. Terrorism, new recruits for Hamas, a never-ending cycle of violence and death.